Well, stealing big screen TVs is one thing. Losing human beings is quite another. Who knows that better than my friend and our colleague Gianno Caldwell, who has been taking that case and the total craziness of that case and why we don't respond to the severity of it. He had a chance to address a House Judiciary field hearing in Chicago this past week. Gianno, how did that go?
Well, first, before we even get into it, Neil, I cannot thank you personally enough for continuing to shed light on what's been a tragedy that has impacted my family to the very core. The losing of my brother on June 24th of last year, my innocent teenage baby brother Christian being murdered, and so many others who have been murdered, and you've continued out of anyone to help shed light on that issue. And I can report from June 23rd, when I talked to you about this and I asked for the FBI to get involved, I can now report to you that the FBI Chicago field office, the leadership there, I've spoken with them multiple times. They're fully involved in the investigation of my brother's murder. So I can, again, not thank you enough, Neil. Now, speaking of the substance of the event, I'm so thankful to Chairman Jim Jordan and Chairman Biggs for bringing a congressional committee here to Chicago because the elected leaders here refuse to do their jobs. It is so necessary for us to have a Republican majority in the House, and I've worked on this all of last year, using my voice, going out thanks to the Fox News family, being able to talk to folks about violent crime and what now Speaker McCarthy said he was going to do as a result of winning the majority, they are doing. So with the substance of the conversation, I mentioned a number of laws I think that can be funded to reduce recidivism. I think that we can use the power of the purse around DOJ grants that local elected officials get for those who don't want to take on their first and most important duty for any elected official, which is the protection of its citizens. Those monies should be pulled back because they're not using them for their intended purpose. So there's a number of issues, I think, on the table. They're going to be having these hearings across the country, and thank God for Jim Jordan and the committee for doing this, because Democrats, simply put, are endangering the lives systematically of Chicagoans and all across the country in a lot of these blue cities. And that's what it is, and it's unfortunate, but we certainly need the power of the purse in Congress to change the dynamic here.
You know what's wild about it, though, Gianno? The blue cities remain blue and under blue control, even in the face of these crime waves. We've seen it again in one of these big cities after another. Chicago, of course, where you tragically lost your brother. Nothing changes. Why is that? I mean, you think whether you were Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal, and it's not working and the crime is still rampant, that you'd be open to say, all right, there's got to be some better way to do this.
Well, I don't know why the insanity continues and why they think it's okay. If you just look at the numbers, overall crime in Chicago, according to Fox News, up 33%, New York 32.4%, Philadelphia 29.4%, Portland 19.5%, Seattle 17%, Houston 14%. I mean, we are a country under siege right now. And why won't the elected officials in those blue cities hear the screams and the cries for justice that many people that I've met since I've been on this journey, why won't they listen to those voices? I have no idea. But who is listening? Jim Jordan and his committee. So what I want to focus on is the people who are willing to provide solutions, not those who are continuously ignoring those who scream for justice. We have to change the reality that exists in the city of Chicago and across the nation. And whoever's willing to pick up the baton and do that, I'm willing to work with them, because Christian's legacy must mean something. And that's what we did this week, having these conversations in Chicago, because the elected officials refused to listen, although Kim Foxx did respond to me saying she's sorry for my loss. Thank you for your sympathies, but no thanks. We need the thousands of people who scream out for justice to have justice for their families and criminals to be held accountable.
Gianno, I know more politicians are listening. I have a feeling, my friend, right now, so is Christian. Thank you very much.
Neil. Thank you.
More after this.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.